only way that you would be eligible to vote on anything under consideration today. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley. Representative Bray.
Present in the room.
Representative Brown.
Here in the room.
Representative Dixon.
Present in the room.
Representative Donahue.
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Representative Fleming.
Present in the room.
Representative Huff. Representative Imes.
Here in the room.
Representative Johnson.
Present in the room.
Representative Koenig.
Here.
Representative Lockett.
Here.
Representative Marzian. Representative Miller.
Physically here.
Representative Reed.
Here in the room.
Representative Roberts. Representative Thomas.
No comment.
Here in the room.
Representative Frazier Gordon.
Here in the room.
Representative Meredith.
Here in the room. We do have a quorum and are duly constituted to proceed with our business today. Do have an announcement really quick. We don't have any new members of the committee this year, but we do have an intern who will be working with the committee this session, Mr. Caleb Westfall. If you all would please make him feel welcome. Look forward to working with you, Caleb. And then, do any of the members have any guests that they would like to introduce? Seeing none, we'll proceed with our business. I feel like the former gentleman from Knox this morning, our good friend Jimmy Stewart, he'd like to call the bills in reverse order, and that's what I'm going to do today. So if Representative Elliott would come forward with House Bill 246, you can just introduce yourself for the record, and then you may proceed with your testimony, Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Elliott. I represent the 54th House District, which is Boyle and Casey counties. And Mr. Chairman, House Bill 246 is a bill related to public administrators, which I know you've been a sponsor of in the past. What this bill would do is it would remove the requirement that in those counties where there's no public administrator or a guardian, that the district court at this time has to appoint the sheriff. This would change that language to give the court the discretion to appoint an administrator, and that appointment could be, the appointee could deny or say, I can't do it. The other part of this is that we just modernize some of the language, which, as you can tell, is fairly antiquated.
Have a motion, Representative Reed, a second, Representative Bray. Any questions from members of the committee at this time? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley. Representative Bray.
Yes.
Representative Brown.
Yes.
Representative Dixon.
Yes.
Representative Donahue.
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Fleming.
Yes.
Representative Frazier Gordon.
Yes.
Representative Imes.
Yes.
Representative Johnson.
Yes.
Representative Koenig.
Yes.
Representative Lockett.
Yes.
Representative Marzian. Yes. Representative Miller.
Yes.
Representative Reed.
Yes.
Representative Roberts.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Meredith.
Yes, ma'am. House Bill 246 does pass with favorable expression. Same should on the House floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Representative.
Thank you, members.
This time I'm going to ask our co-chair, Representative Frazier Gordon, to please come to the chair as I vacate to present House Bill 212.
Okay, if you'd like to introduce yourself and your guests for the committee, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am Representative Michael Meredith, representing the 19th House District, and I will let my guests recognize themselves.
My name is David Livingston. I'm the current president of the Kentucky Magistrates Commissioners Association and also the current first vice president of Kentucky Association of Counties. I'm a magistrate from Scott County.
Good morning. I'm Tabitha Clemens. I'm the Grant County Clerk and also representing the Kentucky County Clerks Association today.
Good morning, Shelley Hampton, Director of Government Affairs for the Kentucky Association of Counties.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Madam Chair, House Bill 212 is a relatively simple piece of legislation. What I will say about it is it is kind of a fix to a fix that was created by the delay of the census numbers in 2021. Right before the filing deadline for bills last year, the Magistrates Association was made aware that the census data was going to be delayed by several months because of the COVID pandemic. If you look at what the statute says, magisterial redistricting has to begin in May of the year following the census and has to be completed within 60 days. With the delay of the census numbers, at the earliest, those numbers were going to arrive in late September or early October, creating a time frame where that period was going to start right in the middle of the filing for those offices. We in the House and Senate passed language last year to move that back a year from May of 2021 to May of 2022, again at the last minute, trying to scramble to make sure that our magistrates and our fiscal courts were not out of compliance with the statute. What we found out after passing that bill and after we left session last year was the Secretary of State's office raised some concerns about the fact that redistricting for magisterial districts, just like redistricting for this body, goes into effect immediately upon passage of those ordinances. What that did was potentially someone could have won a primary for the office of magistrate in a county, and with the redistricting might not have been eligible to run in the November election in the general election. So what this bill does is this pushes it back until summer of next year to remedy that issue brought to us by the Secretary of State.
We have a motion and a second. Do you have anything to add to your presentation?
When you get a motion and a second, you be quiet unless you have questions.
Any questions from the committee? Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley? Representative Bray?
Yes.
Representative Brown?
Yes.
Representative Dixon?
Yes.
Representative Donahue?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Fleming?
Aye.
Representative Frazier Gordon?
Yes.
Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Koenig?
Yes.
Representative Lockett?
Yes.
Representative Marzian? Representative Miller?
Yes.
Representative Reed?
Yes.
Representative Roberts?
Yes.
Representative Thomas?
Aye.
Representative Meredith?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The measure passes with favorable expressions. Same stood on the House floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
I will now pass the gavel back to my Chairman, Meredith.
And now we'll move on to our final bill. If Representative Branscombe would come forward with House Bill 33. Please introduce yourself for the record and have your guests introduce themselves as well. And then you may proceed with your testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Josh Branscombe, Kentucky State Representative for the 83rd District.
Che Ritter with the Kentucky Department of Education.
Thank you all for the opportunity to be here today to discuss House Bill 33. House Bill 33 is an expanded jurisdiction bill. This will probably look familiar to every single one of you. Just to give you a brief history on the bill, it came through the House in 2020. Like many bills that year, got through the House, passed overwhelmingly, got into the Senate, COVID hit, and was not able to get through the Senate. Last session, passed the House 97-0, simply ran out of time once we got into the Senate. So House Bill 33, currently local governments are responsible for the examination, the approval, and the disapproval of plans, specifications for construction projects up to specific sizes and types as defined in statute. One building category that is currently outside of their review jurisdiction, school facilities. The purpose of House Bill 33 is to allow local governments to perform plan review, inspection, and have jurisdiction over enforcement responsibilities for school construction projects when the local government and the Department of Housing and Building Construction agree in writing. So I just want to emphasize, This is only with written agreement from HBC. The purpose of this bill is to relieve some of the burden on HBC and the backlog for state plan review and allow local governments, where appropriate and with qualified personnel, to get those projects moving and approved. Throughout this process, I've worked closely with the Kentucky Department of Education on additional language to this review process, as well as cleanup to existing language in statute. The KDE language does the following. First, as a courtesy, currently, Housing, Building, and Construction copies the Kentucky Department of Education on various documents that are sent to local school boards as part of the construction permitting and inspection process. This language simply adds that the local government will do the same. Second, it removes statutory language that mandates that water bottle filling stations on any new school construction project. This language already belongs and is located in the Kentucky Administrative Regs, so this simply just cleans up that language. Third, there's also an energy report that's been required in statute since 2010. If you all recall, back in around 2010, the efficient school design movement jump-started with the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, and the report was useful at that time. It was designed to help legislators with ideas in the area of efficient school design. However, it's unclear whether anyone reads or utilizes this yearly updated report. And these reports take up to between 100 and 200 staff hours each year to compile, and that's a 5-week time that Kentucky Department of Education could be focused on working with districts, approving and reviewing construction plans and documents. This report, while useful 10 years ago, 12 years ago, has long outlived its usefulness, as districts now have the knowledge and the financial incentive information they need to invest in energy-efficient buildings.
Have a motion, Representative Koenig, a second, Representative Bray. Any questions? Representative Marzian, I think you've got a question.
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chair. When I saw this, I was a bit concerned because it looked a little bit like a rollback on energy efficient school buildings, which I don't know if anybody here remembers Representative Jim DeCesare, who was a Republican, and I worked together on green school legislation. So is it any way a rollback on making sure that we have energy efficient green schools?
No, I do not see it as that. It's taken away this report that's done every year. That's all that it's doing. A lot of the schools now, the design of schools now is far better than what we had 10 or 12 years ago. And a lot of the things that were new 10 or 12 years ago is just common practice now with energy efficiency. And so all this is really doing is just taking away that report because it's not really utilized a whole lot from what we understand, and it takes a lot of staff hours from KDE. So that's all it's doing.
Can I have a couple follow-up? Okay.
Go ahead, Representative.
I also was a little concerned about the water fill stations. They're still going to be in. They're just in another. They're still going to have those.
That's correct. They are. That language is already in administrative regs.
Okay.
And it's also in statute. So we're just taking it out of statute because it already exists in the plumbing section of administrative regs.
So they.
And I can give you that. I can give you that specifically if you'd like.
I believe you, but is the reg have as much impact as the statute?
I would assume that it would.
Okay. And one last question. It seems as though you deleted the school design trust fund.
That's correct.
Is there a reason why? Is it?
There has never been any money allocated to that fund, no contributions. I think that's been 10 or 12 years, and there's never been anything put into that fund.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Representative Marzian, you mentioned the former Representative DeCesare and that issue with the green schools legislation, and actually I do remember that very well, and that was a school that he had represented once upon a time. That was our first net zero school in Kentucky, and a school that I represent now.
Yeah.
So,
and he said hello. We talked on the way up.
Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman, my question is on Section 3, 162.062. The plans for the school deals with water bottle filling stations and drinking fountains. it looks like is that taken out?
That is being removed from statute, but that language exists in 815 Kentucky Administrative Regs 20191. So it's already in administrative regs.
Okay. So I guess my question is that being taken out of new construction? Excuse me, Mr. Speaker. Just another question.
No.
It's not being taken out.
It is not.
In the age of COVID, if I may, Mrs. Chairman, in the age of COVID, water bottle filling stations are something that has become routine, but water fountains have been eliminated. It just, for me, that language should be removed. At least water fountains should be made unworkable or taken out of use at this point because of COVID. Can we talk about that?
Whether the water fountains should be taken out of
I think
language.
Water fountains probably, at some point, they may come back and be in use, but they should be inoperable with new buildings, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, this bill doesn't, we're not addressing that in this bill specifically. This is mainly just the water bottle filling stations. It's in statute, but it's also in administrative regs. So it's just taking it out of the statute and keeping it in the administrative regs where it's supposed to be.
Okay. I'd just like us to be concerned about the drinking fountains.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman. Sorry.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Seeing none, Madam Secretary. Oh, Doc. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley? Yes. Representative Bray?
Yes.
Representative Brown?
Yes.
Representative Dixon?
Yes.
Representative Donahue?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Fleming?
Aye.
Representative Frazier Gordon?
Yes.
Representative Huff?
Yes.
And Representative Huff, you are in your annex office, correct?
I am on the property getting ready to go into the annex office. In the car. Do you want me to come up there instead? I can.
He's on the property.
If you're on property, you're in good shape, Representative.
All right. Thank you.
Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Koenig?
Yes.
Representative Lockett?
Yes.
Representative Marzan?
I'm going to vote yes. Can I explain something real quick?
Go right ahead, Representative
I was
Marzan.
concerned when I saw this bill because Representative Sesser and I had worked so hard on it. We talked a lot about it, and Representative Brown brought up a good point, and I wonder if it would not hurt the bill any if we just amended it and kept that water fill station in, just because I'm on the administrative reg, and they can be changed pretty quickly, the regs can, but if it's in statute, if that would be, I don't think it'd hurt your bill any if we could talk about it later, but
Okay.
I'm a yes.
Be happy to talk with you.
Representative Miller?
Yes.
Representative Reed?
Yes.
Representative Roberts?
Yes.
Representative Thomas?
Aye.
Representative Meredith?
Yes, ma'am. House Bill 33 does pass with favorable expression. Same should on the House floor. Representative Huff, would you like to record votes on the other two previous bills?
Yes, please. Yes on both.
Seeing no other business coming before the committee, we will consider ourselves adjourned.
And you have to sign these. So the roll calls on the bill are different than the attendance roll call.
Really?
They have her name next to last, but they have it in alphabetical on the vote.
Whatever you want to do.
I don't know why they can't be consistent. I don't do these forms.
Okay. I didn't know who did those.